Welcome back, everyone. Today I want to share with you my Mk2 Jetta, which if you don't follow me on Instagram, you probably don't even know it exists, but you should definitely follow me on Instagram. So here is my Mk2 Jetta. I've had this for about 6 years now. So when I bought this, it was a little bit of an impulse buy. My last Mk2 met a very unfortunate end, and right after that I needed to fill the void, so I found this Jetta and picked it up and overlooked some very important things. But since then, it's come a long way. Now, as you could probably see, it's nowhere near being done yet, but this is where it stands as of now. I wanted to let you guys kind of see it. So I plan on making some more videos about it, so I wanted to give you an idea of where we stand right now. So when I first picked this thing up, it was a mess, to say the least. The previous owner had bought it as a project car and just kind of did some tinkering and made things worse than they were, or at least I think so. I don't know what condition he got it in, but the original paint on this was a kind of like a silver champagne. For those of you familiar with Volkswagen paint cones, it was the LA1Z paint. I actually really liked the paint, but it turns out I overlooked when I bought it, it was a respray. And it was a single stage, no clear coat respray that was done very poorly. None of the trim was removed, and it started peeling up from the edges shortly after I got it. And that's kind of about the time I realized I was going to need to repaint this car. So at that point I figured, what the hell, it can't get much worse than it is, so I decided I'm going to do all the bodywork myself. So I used a DA sander. I sanded the entire car down to either factory primer or metal if it needed bodywork, did all the bodywork myself, and repainted the entire car in a makeshift paint booth in my driveway. Now, I've done some little touch-up bodywork in the past, but nothing this extensive, and I've never done any paint spraying, so the results aren't perfect, but I'm really happy with the way it came out, and I get to say that I did it all myself, which is really satisfying. So in the back seat here, this is where there was another thing that I overlooked. So back here, the entire back behind the seat area was cut out very crudely, and the seats were actually held in with rope when I bought it. And I'm not kidding, this rope was the only thing holding these seats in. So in hopes to turn lemons into lemonade, I bought these Corrado rear seats along with the mounting brackets. So I'm going to try and install these Corrado seats into the back of a Jetta, which didn't even have flip seats. So I think that'd be kind of unique, really cool, but it's going to be a little bit more work than just plopping some seats in. So one of the more immediate things I'm going to do is I am going to coat the entire floor with something called lizard skin, which is going to help with sound reduction and coat it nice, and I have new carpet coming as well. So now to the back of the car, other than the battery charger, I have my airride set up. Now, when I first got the car, the suspension was shot, I put airride in. If you're looking at this and saying that's a mess, you're correct. Not only did I not know what I was doing when I installed it, but I rushed it because I just wanted to get the car on the road, and since then, you know, things got wet with the glass out and stuff, so this is going to get redone sooner rather than later. Something else I forgot to point out is that the entire inside was done with this bed sheet material, and the glue just did not hold at all, so I got to redo all that, the headliner, the door cards. It's almost for the better because I don't like that checkered look at all anyway, so I also have these very nice subwoofer holes cut into the back deck for seemingly no reason at all. Right now this sunroof's just sitting here. I took it off for paint, and I gotta hook the tracks and everything back up again. Now before I even started any of this bodywork, I actually did an engine swap on this. So it went from the 8 valve 1.8 liter to a 1.9 turbo diesel. Now this engine is out of a 97 Passat. And just like the rest of this car, this obviously needs to be cleaned up a lot, but I started removing some of the extra things. At some point I want to go for, you know, a shaved show bay look, but right now it's kind of just however it went together to get this thing driving. Like a great example is the intercooler. This is a side mount intercooler. It's meant to go in the fender. The Mk2 doesn't really allow for that to fit, so I just kind of plopped it there for now, but I do have a front mount intercooler I'm going to be installing. So right now this is pretty much just a stock engine. I did swap the nozzles for slightly bigger ones, and it's a lot of fun. It's a really torquey engine, especially in a car this light, so I really like it. Performance mods definitely to come, but for now, this is how it sits. So at this point, this thing hasn't ran for a few years, so I got the battery charger on it like you saw before, so I'm gonna go ahead and try and see if I can get this thing started. Okay, so it didn't start the first time, but it turns out it helps to actually ground the negative. So I'm super excited that it starts and runs. This is a project that's been kind of on the back burner for way too long, but you know, life happens, other project happens, you get to it when you get to it, but I'm excited to start digging in. I hope you guys enjoyed my little intro here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time.